bust that neck wide open, just like a buck from salt. Scream one, scream two, Jamaican goddess, voodoo, come through to put upon you all the shit, we still got the juice. Everybody wanna be black until it's time to come and be black. Then it's whack, boys in blue, what's up with that? Recess, bitches, that's back, but don't mind that, we still on the track. Even if they put us way in the back. 3 outraged and branded stars. Future past ready, that shit's been hard. All the cards ain't stacked for you, but all my people, we gotta come through.
Hi everyone, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Music and Marriage. My name is Nikita, I am your host, and this is my co-host.
I'm like Red Square, blessed love. Wow.
Today we come to you in sadness, in dismay, just shock, because we're still going through a lot within our race because of our race. We're not really sure if everyone is up to date on what's going on in the news or in the media in America right now, but there was an unarmed black man that was killed last week in Minneapolis by a police officer who kneeled on his neck, which caused his death. And this was recorded and, seen all over social media, the news, everywhere. So this is just something that we wanted to discuss today, being that it's so hot and heated within the country. And we've lived in America. I am an American. My children are American. I have 2 black sons. So this is something that we felt like it was imperative for us to speak on because of such. So let the conversation begin. And later on, we're also going to have, a friend of ours, a guest, a family friend, you can say. She's a friend that became family. So we're going to have, her to join in on the convo. She's in New York right now, so you would get a little bit of update of what's actually going on within the States. So, yeah. So, Amlak, how do you feel about what's going on right now in the present news?
Well, like I say, it's a sad situation, George Floyd.
Yes.
Was
the recent
brutally murdered by the police in Minneapolis, in America. What can I say, really? Nothing has changed. Over the many years since the Civil War, since slavery, nothing has really changed, in my opinion, Just the watching the video of him just callously just kneeling on the man's neck. It just felt like he knew he was gonna get away no matter what. So he did it regardless.
Without care.
Without a care in the world, because he knew that his people were gonna protect him.
The Lord's on
and his
side.
family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, just seeing the whole video, it really put me in a space where, I started to think like, what has really changed? Martin Luther, he marched. Malcolm X preached, Medgar Evers lost his life, all these people lost their lives for the prosperity of the black race in America, because we're talking about America right now. And even though these people lost their lives, nothing has changed. Like, everything is still under this false pretense of change, and when you really look at the reality of the whole situation, nothing has changed. And it really kind of put some thoughts in my head, in terms of how can we really change the situation? You know, like these people, they control the system. They made the system to be in their favor. See? They take people from out of our communities, the smarter ones, and put them into their system, give them, you know, false pretense of power, you know, in terms of putting them in places of power, like jobs. You know, we even had a black president, the highest position of power in the country, you know, and still, in my opinion, nothing
has
changed. Nothing critical has changed for the black
that's gonna benefit
nation.
us.
You know what I mean? So it sparked a question now in my head. Should we have remained segregated? Should we, as a nation, have remained, you know, segregated, you know, within the American borders?
So it's like
you
you have your blacks and your whites, and everyone has their own laws
everyone
and
have their
rules.
own system that is for their nation.
And that's for their people.
That
Which
is for
makes
their
sense
people.
because right now you have one system that's supposed to be fighting for everyone's.
And it's not.
It's only for the white privilege, you can say.
It's not equal.
Yeah.
It's not equal.
Yeah.
So the question I ask myself is, would it have been better to remain segregated?
I mean,
in terms of not just segregation and the system remains, you know, the system that is there, that was in place during segregation, you know, was for everyone. So would it have been better for us to be segregated and have our own system? Seen? So black persecution is a part of the system now. Seeing, would it have been better for us to just have our own police, our own judges, our own whatever?
I definitely do believe that would have made us better, and it would have shown who we are as a race. Because right now, what we're going through, what we've been going through in America, it's just ridiculous. Segregation, I'm not really 100% sure if I would say that's the word I would choose, but as far as us
not segregation as in what we know it to be.
Okay, but as far as us having our own structure, our own infrastructure, our own banks, our own judges, our own courthouses, jailhouses, whatever.
So the laws that govern American corporation, the American because America is a corporation, a big corporation.
That don't really care about lives, they care about assets.
Why don't we have our own corporation, the Black Nation Corporation?
It sounds nice theoretically, but in all actuality, I don't think that would really happen because us as a black nation, we don't know how to unite. We don't know how to hold each other down and say, okay, this is what it's going to be. Because right now,
you know, that I feel like we need to start thinking positively towards doing this thing and not putting it out there that we cannot unite, because that is what the narrative that
it's not only the narrative, but it's the fact. It's the fact, and it's the fact that they also instilled this in us. So it's not like we're just this way because we are.
So we have to change.
But the mindset that we have as black people, we don't really value who we are. Most of us, we don't.
Change that mentality.
Yes, that is the mentality that we need to change. That's why I said it sounds nice. But in reality, I doubt it will happen. There's so many people who are clouded by materialistic things or whatever else that's going on that they wouldn't say, okay, let me stand up. Because for me, I'm standing there watching a man dying. I don't care who it is. We're going to be in a tussle. There's going to be some type of interaction because there's no way you're going to stand there and kill an innocent man in front of my face. And I'm just watching.
Videoing.
Like, at the end of the day, someone has to stand up and somebody has to say, well, listen, we're going to take one for the team. And that's the thing as black race. We don't know how to do that. We only can do that amongst ourselves. If you tell me, say, you and homeboy down the block got beef and you want him to go get shot up, yeah, everybody down with the foolishness. But when it's time for a cause, everyone is silent. everyone is to the seat. Everyone is just calm. Like, okay, let's do it Martin's way. We've been doing it Martin's way for how many years now? Where has that gotten us? Where has that gotten Martin?
We have to really think.
There has to be more like steps implemented, like for us to sit and be strategic about this.
Organized.
Exactly. We have to. It would be great if we can do that. What it is, our aim is. Exactly. Exactly. Because we see a lot of the looting going on right now in America, which for me, honestly, are foolish and stuff. Because, I mean, for me, if you want to really do something and you want to really hurt the system in certain type of way, and you know what's going to be affecting the country, you know what's affecting your race, you hit the courthouses, you hit the judges, you hit the congressmen. Those are the ones that are making the laws. Those are the ones that are doing certain things that are affecting our race. They keep saying voting. Yeah, but how many years have we been voting? We've had the privilege to vote almost 40 years now, and or 30 something years now in America, and where has that gotten us?
And that's why I said we need to have a whole system.
We do.
We need to
but
create,
as I said,
we need to
because listen, you know what it's going to be?
we
Because
need to have another civil war where we are carve up the nation again, and we know say, all right, the West Coast are our own, out of the West Coast over here, so
our territory
between run down the middle in the Midwest,
yeah,
and we are take over upon the West, and the white race take over upon the East, and we keep it pushing,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, and I not discriminate against nobody white because we have a lot of white friends.
I have a lot of white family members.
But at the end of the day,
enough is enough.
On a whole, systematically, it not work out for we.
At all.
It not work out.
And we've been trying this way for many years. I'm not saying everyone needs to do, the violent way. If there's a peaceful way that we can approach a situation and get to the nitty-gritty of it, it would be wonderful. But with the American system, they won't allow that to happen. They're not going to give that. We've been asking for that for how many years now? We've been begging for our equal rights in America. Ever since I was a little girl, I've been knowing about things like this. 97, where they had the shooting. Who is it? Amadou Diallo? Mm-hmm. And then right after that, that was like 2 or 3 years after me arriving in America. So it was like me as a child seeing stuff like that.
Check it up on
Isn't that 97? Like me as a child seeing something like that, that's very traumatic to me. Like, seeing that he's just being murdered just because he's black. And then to see how many of these incidents keep happening. And I'm in my 30s now, and these things are still going on. And the first incident that I can remember happened around 96, 97. And I was like 10, 11 years old. Mm-hmm. So it's,
99.
99. Mm-hmm. So which one was before that? Abner Louima, that was the assault in New York. Because these are cases that happen in New York City.
So many cases.
It's ridiculous.
So many cases.
It's ridiculous.
So many cases of systematic
time after time
abuse and murder.
Unarmed black men. And then yet still the white men that shoot up the churches, and these people, they can get water sitting down waiting to go to jail. Or they can actually be peacefully arrested and actually go to jail. Mm-hmm. And a man that's just standing there.
It's very disheartening, and yeah, we just feel like
we had to, put a pause on the marriage talk right now, because this is bigger than us. Definitely. Because even when we're dead and gone, our children are still going to be facing this injustice.
The judgment, yeah.
So it's something that we have to try to stand up and put our foot down for, because at the end of the day, the younger ones are really the ones that you see out here protesting when you really look at the images that they're showing.
It baffles me, because we see people are loot and a thief clothes. Like, why are you stealing clothes? You can't eat that stuff, man. Like, we have to organize better. We have mentally
the mindset
first.
Is not there.
Yeah, mentally first, we have to know where we are about.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally first.
Know what our aim, our mission is, and then we attack, and then we go on it.
The system still infiltrate the protests and I put in for them own people
in there, and we don't even know what to do.
And I confuse the whole situation. You understand what I say?
And then turn around and call us thugs when certain things happen. Like,
it's crazy. Like, we need.
And what is this new terrorist organization that they say?
Antifa.
All of a sudden, Antifa jumped up. Where did this come from? This is something that we've never heard of until this Black Lives Matter situation reoccurred again. Like, where, and this is supposed to be a terrorist organization somewhat.
Trump said he's going to label it
as a terrorist organization.
So, yeah.
And, like, these distractions that are being thrown at us when we need to be focused at the main task at hand.
Yeah.
And as a president, we know you're racist. We know all of these things about you. But at the same time, you can still show some empathy for the family members. Think about his daughter that's not going to have a father growing up. And this is something that America's built off of taking young black men out of the households and breaks and divide our families. So we won't have
systematic
family member. We won't have any leadership. We won't have any male guidance in the household. So when they do stuff like this, then this has been going on since the crack era, since way back when. They just hear foolishness and then they go to the kids' house and take the children out of the household. There's no abuse, nothing going on, and put them in the system because of what? They know our power. They know what we can do if we unite, but they know that we won't. And that is the upper hand that they have over us. That's in my opinion.
But it's difficult. It's very difficult to see right now where to go.
It's going to have to take something happening to each individual because exactly, it's going to have to hit home before most people really step up and say something or do something.
Serious.
Exactly.
Civil war type drastic vibe.
Before people start choosing sides. And right now you can see who's on whose side.
You know, and you know, it's difficult because when we talk about civil war, enough people don't realize it. Even the fact that white people were actually fighting together with blacks for civil rights. And sometimes this kind of confuse the whole vibration.
Yeah.
You don't know that this is how them work. This is how they work. This is how it works with these people. They don't care about life.
They don't care about families. They don't care about none of that. It's just about the economy and their money and turning it.
Control and power. Control.
And we as black people, we're giving them the power. We're giving them the access to be able to get to these levels with us. Because if we put our foot down and really mean to, all right, we're going to stop spending our money. We're going to create our own communities. We're going to start our own banks.
Guess what?
We're going to have our own platform. Well, listen, and that's why the same thing what the Panthers did. We're going to have our shooters and we're going to be ready. Plain and simple. Because at that point, then that's when you're going to have to protect your territory because that's what they're doing in their country, correct? They're protecting. But that's what I'm saying. But we have all of these things, but our people just don't believe in us that much. And that's the sad part about it. That's the sad reality. Exactly. We need to. And it's going to take years. Shit, we've been in slavery for how much? 400 plus years? And we still ain't even get nowhere yet. So imagine how much longer it's going to take us to actually get to a point where we can say we have justice, we have equal rights within our own land that we built.
Yeah.
Our own land that we built. It's not nothing that was given. Exactly. It wasn't given by our blood, sweat, and tears. It wasn't given to us. It wasn't no free labor where, okay, y'all come over here, y'all get a piece of land and do whatever. Our ancestors did a whole lot for us to have our rights that we have right now. You know, mine calling them at 20 in them grave right now. For no say them things, they're still going things with them dead for how much years ago. And we're still going through it right now. Like you just being fearful that your son is going to go outside one day. It don't even matter the age because in America they kill as young as 12. Tamir Rice in Cleveland. He was 12 years old when they shot and killed him. Yes, he had a fake gun, but it's a child. You go and you approach in the proper way. They don't have the system of the police need to be restructured. And I don't think that will ever be restructured because the police are not here to protect and serve. There are good people who join the police department to try to make a change, but the police department itself is not to protect and serve the people. Okay?
City, but I'm not in the city, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I'm here, but I'm not here. But it's crazy. You've seen all the videos?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos. Yeah. And they
starting to loot hard.
In Manhattan, in the city they're looting?
Yeah. The Chanel store, the Dior store, the Prada store. Bloomingdale's, Foot Locker, the whole Soho area.
Soho's done. All right, so question I wanted to ask you, what do you think like would be something that can change, like a change that we need to make as a race to get past this, or to have a step in the right direction with the situation that's going on?
A change in the looting?
No, in the whole situation.
Overall. Because the main reason why the looting started is because of George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
The killing of George Floyd. I just feel like they need to get all the officers that were involved arrested.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
So do you think you think when they get the officers arrested, how do you feel like that's going to change the whole dynamic of what's going on as us, the injustice that we've been facing for how many years now in the country?
I think that's just a start.
Okay.
That's not a
solution.
It's not going to solve the problem, but that's just a start.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much. Like, I feel like I don't agree with the looting. A lot of people agree with it, but I don't agree with it. I just feel like they need to burn down the precincts, the courthouses, find judges' houses and burn it down.
That's the same thing I was just saying earlier. Like, we can't take target at the looting, because at the end of the day, the looting is not going to solve a problem. Us taking actions on the people who are actually making the laws and making these hard times for us in the country that we built, like, that's what we need to focus on. But it's going to be hard for us to do that because, as I was saying to Anja earlier, like, as a race, we don't know how to unite. We don't know how to come together and say we're going to stand up for a cause and we're going to fight it. Even look at Gucci, the brand. Everyone was boycotting it a couple months ago, and all of a sudden it's like...
And they forgot.
Exactly. Now everyone is wearing Gucci again.
They probably forgot about it because our rapper came out with something, or they...
Yeah, but that's not how we're going to advance. And that's what I'm saying to him. Like, as a race, it's going to be hard for us to advance and do certain things because we still have a lot of us that have the mentality that it's okay to, just materialize things in life. And life is not about materialistic things only. Like, you have to remember that we have children that we have to set a foundation for. We have to make sure that they have a decent life. That they know what love is.
Black people on a whole on love.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Because I feel like also that is because we don't know, a lot of us don't know how to show love. A lot of our parents weren't raised with love. So it's hard for us, it's hard for a lot of people to really know how to do something when they weren't really raised with it. But with the whole racism thing.
Was telling me that a lot of black people have mental issues. Why you think they have mental issues?
Yes, because of how we were raised and things that was done to us, and not being able to communicate properly about it, to feel open to talk about certain things, because we get shunned in the black community. Oh, you're mad, or this wrong with you, or you're idiot, or something, that you're too sensitive, or you're a girl, or whatever the case is. Like, it's always something to defend the bad actions of, not doing. So it's pretty difficult, but for me,
kill back police them, that they need to do.
Exactly. They need to understand like the pain that we're going through. They need to feel it, because if you're not feeling the pain, you're not gonna really understand the struggle. In my opinion, like, you gotta understand the pain of what we're going through to know, what I'm saying, how to even deal with the situation. And people who are actually even going through it still don't even know how to deal with the situation properly.
But I heard like them said them are gonna start protesting in Jamaica.
I mean, protesting in Jamaica, I doubt they're gonna do that. People in Jamaica don't even want to protest for them damn self. There's so much injustice going on in this country. Exactly. There's so much injustice. I mean, I think they would be protesting because it's just the solidarity of standing with your people that's overseas. Because remember, a lot of our culture, a lot of our race are overseas. Even
Jamaicans
a lot of
in the US.
Even remember, Ramarley, that's his name. Graham, the one that died in the Bronx, where the police came and shot him in his grandmother's house.
And and he They got a settlement. He got money, and he went back home. He lives in Jamaica.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
It-
Yeah, because
It's mad. The man.
it's crazy.
The man is a what? Mad man.
Of course, I mean something like that would happen because you just come and kill my
Crazy.
child in my house. Like it's absurd. It's like unheard of. You don't hear things like that happen in the white community. So it's
Wow.
pretty difficult for us, but I feel like it would be a good thing for us Jamaicans that are here on the island to protest and do something to show that we are standing.
Oh, it's dark. In the state of Jamaica.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said like Jamaicans a different creature. Like we don't even stand up for what's going on the island. So it's gonna be difficult for them to take up other people's issues
People probably
or other people's problems. And
Jamaica not have no white police.
but they need to understand that. But they need to understand that they have family members that are overseas that are suffering this.
I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, go up to U.S. Embassy and protest.
Listen, I would love to do it. I would be up at U.S. Embassy
people
protesting.
in London are protest right now.
Exactly. People in London are protesting,
So
and they're
it's
Jamaican, so it's not like it's something that it can't happen.
For protesting,
worldwide
but
thing.
I just the whole like looting.
Yeah, the looting
like,
don't make sense to me.
unnecessary shit.
Yeah, that don't make
the-
sense to me.
I know.
But if you're gonna really
Go
do
burn down
something,
some
yeah.
house, go burn down some millionaire white people house. Will have the red
Thing that you know that's
them
gonna affect things that you know that's gonna affect their economy, because that's what they worship. They don't worship the lives. They worship their money and what's in their pockets and what they can
So
do
I
with their
want
power.
to court now.
COVID, I mean, Corona get cancer right now. Corona has been canceled for around a couple days now since this whole thing happened.
So COVID not about again.
I mean, Jamaica opened up back their borders today to citizens or residents of the country. In the next 2 weeks, then the next 2 weeks they're going to be opening it back up to international, which makes no sense to me.
Virus, and when I have to take my vaccination or nothing like that.
No, man, it's going to come back. When vaccination time is ready, they'll be speaking of it again. Because especially when September come around and they want the kids them to go back to school and they want us to spend money, the vaccination will somewhat be floated around in the area.
I can imagine we are going through like a world crisis, a pandemic, and these white officers
Still
take
don't
them time
care.
to kill the man.
Yeah, still don't care about people's life because it's taught to them. This is something that is embedded in their brain from they were young, and I really strongly believe like they were taught to hate. Because there's no way you could just get up and just
saw
hate.
the main officer, Shavin, what's his name?
There's a
Chauvin?
there's a biography.
Not biography, his background, like you
there's
don't
some-
see on the news.
Oh no, but I did hear that him and George Floyd worked at a nightclub together. So clearly you knew the man prior to the incident. Clearly there must be some type of animosity or some type of issues that you have with him where you feel like, okay, you're going to really take it out because you have the badge on your side, or you feel like you have the law protecting you so you can do whatever you want to do, knowing that the man can protect himself and he's probably not going to fight back. So that was the prime opportunity, as that's why I'm so outraged and so mad, because it's like y'all gave him the opportunity to kill. The other officers standing there gave him the opportunity to kill. They knew what was going on. They saw what was going on. And they did nothing about it.
There were other officers on him.
I saw the other three. Yeah, I saw the other two. I didn't see them at first. I only saw the little Asian
Yes.
one that was standing there and the guy.
Why you think they start protesting?
It's
That's
sad,
why
man.
they want all the officers to get
Charged.
charged.
Okay.
Believe in that.
Even when them
of
get
course.
charged, none of them still not gonna.
They're not
prison.
going to face time.
None of them.
They're all going to be acquitted.
I believe that. I believe
Because
that.
look
I
at the
believe
cases that we've had in New York. Yeah, it's just the system.
That's just the system.
Look at what we had
With
to deal with in Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo, Abner Louima. Like it's so much. Eric Garner. Like
I would
it's so
be
many.
surprised to see if any one of them gonna jail for or do not time for
I
this.
doubt it. This is just all for the theatrics and just for the show, just to show that okay, America has a justice system and they're gonna try to prove innocent until proven guilty, huh?
They said it's the FBI stepping in now.
Yeah, but the FBI, the FBI is a part of the problem as well. FBI, CIA, police, all of them are part of the problem. So it's like
True.
it's like me having a fight with you, and you gonna say, all right, I'm gonna call somebody to squash it. Let me call my big sister because she's gonna choose who's right from wrong. it makes no sense. Like, you're calling their family member. They might not get along all the time, but they work hand in hand when they need to. So it's all about getting a new whole system.
But these officers, all right, so them get acquitted. What do you think of happening?
Nothing.
What do you think of
Nothing, because the black people in America are going to
Don't
forget
you
about it until the next thing. No, it's not going to be no
But
protest.
The protests are going to solve.
Exactly.
The protests really not going to solve nothing. So, okay, they get acquitted and protesting start going again. Then what?
Exactly.
What are the real solutions? Like,
Because
that's the
this has
question.
happened before. We've seen this happen before.
That is the
where
question,
they
what
go
is
in
the
front of the
real
court, they get
solutions?
acquitted, and then the protesting stop within 2-3 months after that. Everybody forget about the situation until the next thing happens. So it's like, what's
There's no solution.
the solution is you fight fire with fire. That's the only solution at this point. That's what they tied our hands behind our backs. That's what they have given us. It's nothing else you can do, because we've tried the peaceful way. We've tried that many years.
Like me that said earlier, still, the only solution we really see is segregation.
Yeah, he was saying that segregation,
That's
where
it.
blacks have their own, like black people's on the west coast and white people's on the east coast, and
That's all too, Andrew.
We have
That's what I
our own judges,
feel.
our own police officers, our own
I
system.
feel that.
that would work,
I was-
but we won't unite to let
Why
that
we
happen.
can't move back to Africa? Why we can't?
Because
Can
in
move back to
Africa,
Africa and live with-
In Africa, the corruption is even worse over there.
corruption even worse. The leaders
The
That's
leaders
why
are
we
even more
do
corrupted
things.
over there.
and
That's why
there's
we
so
need to
much
use
civil war fighting against each other.
Exactly,
in
civil war,
Africa
all of that going
all
on
the
in
time.
Africa.
Like, it's so unstable, and it's not because of us, it's because
Of them
the system
and what
again.
they've done.
They created this
Yeah.
system that feeds on us killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing and then
Yeah.
act like they don't know about it.
And point the finger where the thugs.
You know? So it's a
Oh,
system.
yeah.
It's a system we need to really get rid of. Not
Oh.
this protesting business.
Because the protesting is not going to do anything, because
We need
we've
to
seen
get
it
rid of the
before.
system. We need to get no matter who we vote in and vote out,
Exactly.
the system are gonna remain.
Exactly,
And the
because they're
system
all
we need to
working
hold up.
with each other. Whether they claim that they're Democrats or they're Republicans, at the end of the day, when it's time for Christmas dinners, they're all there together sipping their champagne and clinking glasses, and they're perfectly fine.
We have to
True.
find a way.
Yet still, we're out here killing one another and trying to do foolishness because of what? Because of their materialistic
Crime all over the
foolishness.
place. White a kill white.
Exactly.
black a
It's
kill
not
black.
saying that
not-
Yeah.
it's only
So we
that.
not use that
Yeah.
as no excuse. We
White
have said the
killing white
system need to change. We need
And the
to have
system,
our
right?
own
The system has always been for white privilege. It's never been for black people. It's never been for us to say, okay, we can be able to, no matter how much they give us a leverage, because that's what it is, where they say, okay, you're a celebrity or you're this, or they put you in a certain power and you have money. Look at Oprah. I know me really see Oprah come out and say nothing yet. Oprah is a big black woman will have millions and millions of dollars, where you should be on the forefront. You should be out here bailing people out. You should be out here doing all these things for our race. But where is Oprah right now? And listen to me now.
You be
Oprah
watching-
really got where she is because of suburban or middle class black woman.
It's alone. It's alone.
That's why I'm saying, like, it would never happen, because we have high level people like that who have already sold us out, and they have influence, they have the money to back them, and it's going to be hard for us to say, okay, we're just going to go against that, or they're going to stand up for us. They're not going to do that, because it's against their interest, and their interest is their pockets. So it's going to be hard.
What is your solution, Kay? What do you think the solution should be?
Or the closest thing.
I feel like what you were saying, Andrew, segregation, dead ass. I feel like we can't move. We need to just be like, we need to be black, them need to be white.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own world, them have for them own world.
Because clearly it's not working when we're mixing. When we're here being successful in the world, is not, and that's the same thing I was saying to him the other day. Like, I wonder how it's gonna be when the NFL and all these sports come back, because of all of this happening now. They really gonna tell their players not to kneel.
Look on it, you know, them can't do without we, you know.
They can't.
Our back them build them system on it.
Our blood, sweat, and tears.
So imagine if we take ourselves and decide we're gonna build our own system.
It would be
Them
such a
build-
powerful
They're
thing.
not gonna allow it. They're not gonna allow it. They're
gonna send
the real civil war.
Exactly. That's when you're gonna really know who's who and who really gonna stand up for what's right and what's wrong.
Yes.
But we still have a lot of people that are still afraid. That's the problem.
The whole country is with majority black people that is still controlled by the white minority. We have a country like Jamaica that is still answering to the Queen of England. a country full of black people.
Full of riches, resources, everything we need.
And we still have your answer to a white woman.
After all these years.
Think about that.
It's crazy.
Really think about that for a second. Like, it makes no sense to me. The system have to change. If we don't get rid of the system, we're going to continue to deal with this over and over and over.
And I don't think the system will ever change because it's not in their favor. And we as black people, we don't know how to unite to say we're going to do something and really stick with it. If we have that mentality and really stay that this is what we're going to do, then we can say, all right, cool. But as a nation, as a race, we're not that strong-minded. Our ancestors did a lot, and they took too much for us to still be here going through this shit. Like, it's ridiculous. And I don't understand how people are still there and there's no uprising. There's no, like, it should be a revolution. It should be shit going on. Places, courthouses, all of these places burned down because we need justice.
The solution, I think that people need to get more educated. Educated on the laws. The more educated on us as black people ourselves, what we're capable of. I think people need to wake up, basically.
Yeah.
There's so much knowledge. It's not like back in the days when we was limited in knowledge. There's so much knowledge out there for us to learn now, for people to know the truth. Because looting and all that, I mean, I understand people is angry, but at the end of the day, you got to understand this is just basically, they're just leading us down. They're just leading us down that path so they could push in their agendas. Like martial law.
I agree. Because the whole term
mandatory vaccine, all of these stuff. You understand? And us, like you said, us people, we have the power because we could change the whole system if we want. It's just that we're not educated on that. You understand? White people have more privileges than we have.
There's too much fear.
Way more.
There's too much fear in our community, in our hearts. Like, our ancestors did all of this shit, and they didn't have half the resources that we have, half the capability to do things that we have, and we're still out here being timid and being scared to stand up for what we know is right. That's the problem. We have to really put our foot down and say, okay, we're really going to stand up and we're really going to fight this injustice that's going on. But until then, like, it's nothing that's gonna be resolved. And I agree with you. We need to be educated. We need to know what's going on within our community, our history. Because if you don't know your history, you ain't gonna know what the hell happened to your people. You don't know where you're going. You have to know.
Believe that slave. You still slave.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying, like, most people don't know that they're still slaves. Like the African Americans in America, that they're still slaves. They're just slaves with privileges. But from you have a social security guard in this, they're slaves. But there's a lot of like documents and agreements and certain stuff that we don't know about that could show us that, like, we can never be a real citizen in America. You understand? No matter what, we're not from here. We're still considered Africans. You understand?
Yeah.
So we would never get, like, I feel like we're fighting for the wrong things. There's so much bigger things going on. Like with Bill Gates, with all these elites around the world. A lot of stuff is going on that we should be fighting and rioting for. You understand? But I'm not saying, bless his soul and everything, George Floyd, but there's bigger stuff than George Floyd that we need to be rioting and rooting for. That's going on in this world. There's a lot more crazy shit. All of these stuff is basically like cover up.
The movement needed a sacrifice, and George provided that.
The sacrifice, that's what he was, exactly. To be able to have this conversation right now, I think so.
And so many others before.
Yeah, that's what I said. We had enough sacrifices. There's plenty of time.
And yet still, we're still nowhere further.
Nothing has changed.
So that's why I really feel like if we hit them in their pockets, if we hit the economy, that's what's going to make them realize the power that we have in their country. Because
the economy's falling. The economy's crumbling regardless.
Right now it is. Right now it is, but without our money, it would be even worse. And that's what we're not realizing.
But for July 7th, they have something called the blackout.
Blackout day, where it's supposed to be no African Americans spend any money on that whole day.
For a day.
Mm-hmm. Which it is not really going to do much. Exactly. It's not.
Think about it. What does that really do?
Yeah.
We have to be more progressive in the way we think about how we want to form and shape our future and the future of our children. Yeah. Just one day not spending is nothing compared to what we should be doing. It's a step forward, yes, but we've been stepping slowly for a very, very long time. We need to start doing some more, for really secure the future of
we gotta come together. Because looking in the black neighborhood, where we from, in the hood. Most of these black people they don't own anything here. Nothing is really black owned. That don't make any sense. You got to start from a community, making everything black owned. That's the only way we can have certain stuff and privileges what these other people have if you want to stay in this country.
That's what I think. That's why I feel like we need to unite more.
Exactly. But the unity is going to be hard when everyone is on a different page.
We put together our knowledge, our money, everything into us. We invest in us.
But listen to me, but let me ask you this. All right, if you're saying that we need to invest in us, I get that and I do agree with it. But even look at a simple situation as we have our friends that have businesses and you don't support your friend, but you'll spend $500-800 at Gucci that you don't know.
I can't relate.
I'm just saying there's a lot of situations.
I can't relate.
Majority though.
Yeah, but majority
I can't relate. That's what I'm saying. Majority of us, that's what we do. We're not going to say we're going to support our own. We're going to support somebody that has an established name. Then to say, okay, you're going to rock with your friends or somebody you know.
I can't relate though. I can't because I support each and every one of my friends.
But not a lot of people are like you though. That's the thing.
I guess. I know, but I still can't relate. I don't know how that feels.
Not a lot of people are like that, and that's the problem that we have to try to tackle. That's the only way we're going to be able to create our own community, our own supermarkets, our own pharmacies, our own judges, our own courthouse, whatever it is that we're going to try to create. Is going to take that for us to do it, and if we can't just come in together on a simple agreement as okay, this is the struggle that we're facing, and this is what we're going to be fighting against.
And
it's going to be hard.
Black billionaires we have in America, or even worldwide.
Black billionaires? Yeah. I think probably 3 or 4. I know one of them is an African woman.
Worldwide, black billionaires.
I think
how many black billionaires?
I know of one.
Let me Google it right.
I know of one African lady. In Nigeria, I think it is.
These people are
black billionaires?
Yeah.
These black billion and millionaires. People with resources that can affect real change.
We have a lot of those.
What
in America, in American society, we have many millionaires. We have a lot of those in America. What are they doing? They're posting on social media. They're saying that they want everyone to stay this
system. That's it. Agents of the system.
That could be.
They don't really care about the real agenda we're supposed to push.
There are a few.
They just care about getting richer and richer, and that's it.
There are a few celebrities that are back in the cars that I've seen now.
They said in America, hold on. They said in America, there's 2,153 billionaires.
Think about that for a second. If this figure is true,
2,000.
If this information is true, think about
2,153 billionaires in America.
That's crazy.
And only 13 of them are black.
Think about that.
Only 13.
Only 13. Think about that.
Ooh.
That's sad.
And all 13 of those black billionaires, they're all sellouts. So they gotta go, and they can't break their order. You can't help us anyway.
And
because,
that's why we're saying that it's going to be hard to
And then
say we're going to do
those are
certain
the
things,
people that
because those are the
should
ones
be
that should be here helping us in these
on the
times,
forefront.
because they have the
building and
resources to
creating
back
the
certain
nation
things.
what we need so that we can sustain
But these are the
ourselves and our
people. But these are the people that we are giving power to. These are the people that we're making
Them get
celebrities.
rich off of our back, same way.
Exactly. But these are
Yeah.
people who are we.
Yeah.
That's who we are making rich. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we really come to it and see who really we're putting into power. You don't just put anybody on into power just because they have a funny song or they have something that's hot. Like, you have to check someone's mental and know what it is that they're about before you can say. Because look at Oprah. She's praised all over by black women. And where is Oprah right now for the black men? Nowhere. And she have a black man, or somewhat black man. Come on, really know what's dead man.
Stedman is black. He black.
Okay, she have a black man. Like, what's going on? Like, where is the uproar? Where's the injustice? She can't really talk on that because she's friends with the right side. So, as they would say, she's cushion buddies with them.
Yeah,
So
as
it's
they
okay
would
for her.
say.
She's not gonna bash them because they're the ones that's putting money in her pocket. And as we said, America's all about the money. It's not about the people. They don't care about lives. They don't care about how many of us die. Look at the police. Look at the NYPD
That's why
car
Trump
that
is our
ran into the
president. What you
crowd the
think?
other day.
What you think? That's why Trump is the president. It's all about the money.
Exactly. It's all about the money.
All about
Like, they don't business
All
about
about the
nothing. There's no regards
But that's
to
all
human
you get
life.
is money.
It's money. Because even him came out and said something about the situation, and his first reaction was, "It's a sad, sad day. A sad, sad day." Really, no, big man. Your president a rotted country.
On Father Joseph side, he's a comic.
But you gotta understand.
Him is a
that
comedian.
they're actors. It's not real. It's
Yeah,
not
he is
real.
It is not real.
Yeah.
It's true. Trump
Yeah.
cannot be real.
Because how could you come out? That's the first thing that's gonna come out of your mouth. The man was literally murdered on camera, and you're gonna say it's a sad, sad day, a sad, sad day, and then you expect people not to be upset.
I
You
can't
expect
stand
people
him.
not to wanna like fight back.
I know he's naturally an idiot.
It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me, and
Yeah.
I don't understand how the people are comfortable with this. How black Americans are so comfortable with this lifestyle that is being handed to them time and time again. Like, there's nothing being changed. But there's no revolt. There's no uprising about it. It's just protest. Protest is not working. We've been doing that for how many years?
I guess we have to educate them. How could we start by educating people?
How can we start by educating people? I would say by just having open communication, like, being that we have so much resources to social media now, like, there's so many ways that we can inform one another about things. It's not like back in the days where you have to call somebody or form a meeting. Like, everybody could jump on Skype. You could have something on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, where we just have an open discussion about, whatever's going on. And then from there, we have people try to actually implement these ideas or these suggestions that we have, and then we move from there. But it's going to take a lot. And a lot of people that I see also are saying that we need leadership. For me, I don't, what kind of leadership you need? Martin already was here as leadership, and where did that go? Malcolm was a leadership, and where did that go? Like, we had so many leaders that came before us, and we're still nowhere.
Get rid of you, yeah.
Like, we're still nowhere with the situation. Like, it's nothing changed with that whole scenario of having a leader. So everyone needs to be their own leader. We just all have a common ground and a common understanding that, okay, this is what we're fighting against, and this is what we want to be done, and we just get to it. Like, it should be nothing else to it. Like, what are we sitting there waiting for? Because the white people, they don't have leadership saying, okay, you're going to come and do this, or we're going to... No. Them no said they hate blacks, so whatever opportunity they get to take us out, they're going to take that opportunity to do so. So that's all it is. Like, they know what their agenda is. They know what they're fighting for, their white privilege and their white power. So we have to know what it is that we're fighting for. But a lot of us are too caught up in the materialistics of the world. So that's the issue. You can't really say, all right, you're going to protest because, say, you want this or you don't want Gucci to cancel your contract or whatever. Like, the ones that have the power, they're so caught up in the hype life, the whole glitz and glamour of life, and not realizing that when that's all stripped from you, because eventually it will be, whether through death or whatever, is going to be stripped from you, what would you be? What would you be known for? What would you have said to be done, like have done to change? Because we have children that we have growing up. I got 2 sons. I got to be mindful of these things. You get what I'm saying? When it's not the gay agenda being pushed, is black men being killed.
That's a different topic.
That's definitely something that we will have to discuss another time. But it's like, it's just the taking away of our black men. And without the black men in our communities, it's going to be hard for us to really do certain things and build certain structures and have certain things done.
It's black people, not black men alone.
That's true, because black women are dying as well. So
yes,
it's a very difficult.
All of us.
Yeah, it's very difficult and very, very trying times right now in America. But I mean, there's no real solution.
Y'all good down there.
No,
good.
Not necessarily, because we have to face the same injustice. Remember, Jamaica police worse than America police, you know. And it's not like, say, at least America police, they'll actually see a day in court. Jamaica police, 99% of these cases don't see a day in court.
But you can't equate. It's not the same thing.
It's definitely not the same thing.
It's killing, yes.
That is true.
But it's not the same reasons.
Yes, because it's a different fight behind
because my skin blacker than yours or my skin clearer than yours.
That's true. It's a different fight in Jamaica with the police. I get it.
Crime was something different from the atrocities.
That's why I said, why would they protest? Because they can't relate to racism down
really
there with what's happening black.
They can't really relate to it, but they do have family.
Prejudicial killing of one, yes.
They do have family members that are overseas that are going through it, so you can stand with them, you know.
But we as a nation have to learn to stand together no matter where we are on the earth, you know what I mean?
And that's the difficult part of the task, though.
That's how it starts. The mental
That's
part.
the difficult part of the task, though. That I feel like that's the most difficult part of the task. Everything else, I feel like we could get through it. But the mental part of it, to say, okay, we're all on one page and we're all fighting this cause together, that's our biggest problem.
So hard.
That's the hardest issue that we have.
Push that energy.
I'm not pushing the energy, but I'm just speaking facts.
You know, we just have to make it happen. Because if we sit down and say, it's not gonna happen, that's gonna be hard.
I'm not saying that we're not gonna. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to try to make a difference just because I'm saying that. Okay. What I'm saying is, yes, it's gonna be hard because as a nation, as a race, we don't know how to come together, and that's just facts. It is what it is. It's
that's just facts.
It's nothing.
I don't understand what it is.
I'm not gonna deny it. It's nothing that we can go around. We can't dance around this. We are not united. We will come together for a short period of time for like a little stupid frivolous thing, but something that's really meaningful, that's behind the cause of our race, we don't come together. And then you always have some of them that says, okay, let's try the peaceful protest. Then you have some who say, okay, the looting. Then some is saying, okay, violence. Everyone is all on a different page, and no one is seeing the real issue at hand, that it's not about us individually. It's about us as a race. We are dying for nothing. It's not like we did something or something happened. We're dying for nothing. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's real difficult for us to say, okay, well, for me to say, okay, I can just see this happen and just speak about it and then not feel no type of way and then just leave it alone. No, it's something that I've been seeing since I was a little girl in America. And I'm more terrified now because I have sons.
And it's going on before even our grandparents was born.
Exactly. We've been raped and lynched and all these things. It's just different forms.
How long do you think this is going on for? Forever.
It's just different forms of it. Now it's just more they're using the police as a weapon because they know that the police is something easier for them to get away with it. Them know so them can't just say, all right, they're going to lynch us because that's going to be something that's going to be seen as inhumane by many. You get what I'm saying? So it's a different way for them to work with it. But I don't know. I don't see there's a.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah, that's
pray.
I guess prayer is gonna probably be the only thing that's gonna be there to help. Because after that, what else is there? Because I'm afraid to say, alright, I'm gonna take a shot or I'm gonna lose him life because I never really realize it's fighting for the cause. It's doing something for your children. If you have to take one, then take one. If you have to hold it, you hold it. I just say it have to go. But you know that your kids might have a better future for you doing such. That's what we gotta look at.
Yeah. Pray. And we just gotta love.
Yeah.
We
Love
just
is the
gotta
next
show
thing.
love.
Yeah. Is it
Always
going?
gotta show love.
Is it going? Okay. We have 3 minutes left. Yeah, but just
You wanted to say anything else, Cedric?
yeah, Cedric, did you want to say anything to wrap it up before we leave? A last thought to our listeners.
Something.
He's smoking.
That's the perfect thing to say.
Say it to me. Say what you always say to me. He think I'm a sheep.
What does that mean?
What's a sheep? Yeah, he think I'm a sheep.
Basically,
Oh,
she's not.
Lord, these children.
She's brainwashed. She's stuff. She don't really get it.
I mean, Kay's a very intelligent girl. I wouldn't say she's brainwashed, but she does get sidetracked by material things at times.
I think that's the only problem. That's because I love money. I'm supposed to love money.
Let's talk about that.
Bye. I'll call you back. Yeah. Alright, so we could just do our little extra and then we could cut that part that she just did. Alright, so yeah, so this convo has been very, different for us speaking on air about certain situation, but it's something that we definitely had to speak on because it is something that is affecting our race, our people, and we must come together and join in solidarity and try to get past this and try to figure out a way how to better ourselves and come out with the upper hand in the end of the situation, because at the end of the day we have to make sure we take care of ourselves, because they're not worried about us, they're worried about themselves. Okay, so we just want to say, please everyone, be careful out there. If you're protesting, try to do it peacefully, try to stay safe, and just continue to fight the good fight for our people.
Definitely. Most definitely.
So we just like to thank you guys again for joining us on another episode of Music and Marriage. My name is Nikita, I'm your host, and this is my co-host.